Pope Francis has recently proclaimed Karol Wojtyła, better known as Pope John Paul II, a saint. This is one of the quickest elevations to sainthood in centuries. But what did he do? What was it that made John Paul II a saint? Maybe because he was a man who had suffered a lot, but never gave up hope. Karol's family died when he was young. He lost his mother before he was 10. When he was 12, his brother died. And finally at 21, he lost his father too. His homeland was attacked by the Nazis in 1939, and his country was conquered. Then conquered again by the Soviet Red Army in 1945. Or maybe it was because of his great culture and humanity. John Paul II was passionate about life. He loved sports and the beauty of the outdoors. Even as cardinal, he continued to ski and kayak. He loved poetry and was an actor, dreaming of life in theater. Under the Nazi regime, he worked hard in a quarry and came to know the life of a laborer. He was also exceptionally bright and thrived as both an academic and charismatic teacher whose classrooms overflowed with young students. Or maybe because he traveled so much and reached out to so many people. Pope John Paul II was extremely active. He made 250 pastoral visits throughout the world to a total of 129 countries and wrote 14 encyclicals. The Pope started the tradition of World Youth Day, participating in 9 of them himself, bringing together millions of young Catholics who were so inspired by him that they became known as the JP2 generation. Or perhaps because he was a champion of human rights. During his days in Poland, he witnessed firsthand the consequences of oppressive governments that took the lives of the weak and defenseless. These experiences inflamed in him an ardent conviction to fight against ideologies. Thanks to this, he played a key role in bringing down the Iron Curtain, and with it, the collapse of the Soviet Union. Now, certainly, all of these things are important, but aren't we forgetting the most essential element? John Paul II is being named a saint above all because he placed Christ at the center of his life and accepted the great mission that Christ offered him every day with love and hope. JP2 certainly underwent a lot of suffering. It was his father's faith and life of prayer that were like a first seminary for him. Witnessing the sacrifices made by his friends and countrymen in the face of great persecution, even to the point of giving their lives, he learned to trust that hope was stronger than fear and love stronger than death. He lived this lesson when an attempt was made on his life. With hope, he overcame the fear and agony of those days, and with love, he sought out the man who had shot him to personally forgive him. JP2 wasn't just active, he was deeply apostolic in everything he did. He knew that the crowds that came weren't there just because of him, but rather because people really hungered for God. As a champion of human rights, JP2 fought for the unborn, the sick, the elderly, the poor, and the oppressed. Above all, though, he fought for the right to believe. He knew that a world without God is a world without joy, without beauty, without true humanity. John Paul II invited us to open wide the doors to Christ. He told us not to be afraid, to welcome him into our lives, our families, and our societies. Because Christ knows us better than any other. He knows the desires of our hearts, and only He is able to fulfill those desires. John Paul II knew that Christ called him to serve, and so he poured out all of his gifts and talents, his strength and his health to the very end to show us Christ. And that is why we celebrate him now as Saint John Paul II. Christ was the center of his life. He was his joy, his strength, and his greatest love.
È stato eretto da 111 cardinali riuniti in conclave. Vedete il fumo bianco che esce, vedete il fumo bianco che continua a uscire nettamente bianco, non come
Habemus Papam. Eminentissimum ac reverendissimum Dominum Carolum Sancte Romane Ecclesiae Cardinalem Wojtyła
Wojtyła.
L'entusiasmo della folla si fa più intenso, risuonano le note della banda pontificia.
Here is John Paul II. He is an idol to follow to lead you to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Karol Józef Wojtyła, ipinanganak sa Wadowice, Poland noong May 18, 1920. Kinilala bilang John Paul II noong October 16, 1978. Ganap na ulila ng maging pinakabata at pinakaunang non-Italian Pope. Sa panahon niya, mahigit 1,400 ang mga nabiatipikahan at halos 500 ang naideklarang santo. Isa dito ang Pilipinong santong si San Lorenzo Ruiz. April 2, 2005, nang siya'y pumanaw, matapos ang pakikipaglaban sa epekto ng Parkinson's disease sa edad na 84. Sa mismong araw ng kanyang pagyaw, nakiisa ang mga Pilipino sa pagluluksa kung saan kabi-kabila ang mga misa ng mga Filipino community maging sa Roma. Narinig din ang mga katagang Santo Subito na ang ibig sabihin ay make him saint immediately, dahilan upang maging exempted sa mahabang canonization process at ngayon nakatakda ang kanyang beatification sa unang araw ng Mayo. Naitala bilang well-traveled Pope sa mahigit 129 na bansang kanyang binisita. Mapalad ang Pilipinas na 2 beses na sinadya ng Santo Papa, dahilan upang mapamahal siya sa mga Pilipino. February 1981, 30 taon lang nakalipas nang halos 1 milyong katao ang nagkatipon sa Bacolod, pagbisitang naging kampanya niya sa pagpapabagsak ng diktatorya. Enero ng taong 1995 nang muli siyang bumalik para sa selebrasyon ng World Youth Day sa bansa, kung saan mahigit 4 na milyong Pilipino ang nagkatipon sa Quirino Grandstand sa Maynila. At para sa University of Santo Tomas, isa itong mahalagang araw sa 400 taong kasaysayan ng kanilang universidad. Ang paggunita ng mga Pilipino sa pinakamamahal na Santo Papa ay higit pa sa payak hanggang sa pinakamagarbong kagamitan, higit din sa maganda at mamahaling istruktura at lalong higit sa matatag na institusyong kanyang ipinamana. Pangako ng mga pusong hindi lilimot sa buhay na ibinahagi ng nag-iisang Blessed John Paul II.
Un altro grande amico, Nazioni Unite, hanno organizzato un anno della gioventù. Loro hanno organizzato, hanno annunciato, noi abbiamo fatto.
No pope has connected with young people quite like John Paul II. In 1984, 6 years after his election, Pope John Paul asked young people to gather in Rome. More than 300,000 accepted his invitation, and World Youth Day was born. Since then, there have been World Youth Days in Argentina, Spain, Poland, the USA, the Philippines, France, Canada, and Italy.
Vi faccio una benedizione. Siete bravi, siete buoni, Mi piace essere con voi.
John Paul II not only set time aside for young people abroad, but at home as well. He'd often open the doors of the Vatican to have special gatherings, like this one in the Cortile di San Damaso. His message was clear: live a life of chastity, don't take drugs, and strive to become saints. An appeal he repeated in 2000, with nearly 2 million people gathered in Rome to meet him.
Se tu vivi con i giovani, tu dovrai diventare anche giovane.
Thousands had congregated to receive the Pope's blessing. There were hardly any security regulations. Axa did not manage to reach the first row in the big crowd. At 5:17, a shot is fired, 7 meters away from the Pope. An incredible happening, an assassination attempt on the highest representative of Christianity. While doctors were fighting for the Pope's life, thousands were waiting at St. Peter's Square, hoping, praying for John Paul II. Just seconds after the assassination attempt, the offender was apprehended. Ali Agca. Was he a madman?
Well after this, I understood that I was led by a higher power. After all, I am Jesus Christ.
The exact date when World Youth Day was launched isn't very clear. What is clear, though, is that it all started thanks to John Paul II. The Polish Pope was convinced that young people don't just need good advice, but rather they also need someone to accompany them and teach them how to express themselves in the best way.
Como os dije desde el primer día de mi pontificado, que sois la esperanza del Papa. Sois la esperanza de la Iglesia.
This Mass was the founding base of World Youth Day. In 1984, the Pope ended the Holy Year of Redemption with this meeting. He gave the youth a wooden cross as a reminder of their encounter.
Carissimi giovani, al termine dell'anno santo affido a voi il segno stesso di quest'anno giubilare, la croce di Cristo. Portatela nel mondo come segno dell'amore del Signore Gesù per l'umanità e annunciate a tutti che solo in Cristo, morto e risorto, c'è salvezza e redenzione.
A year later, the United Nations celebrated the International Youth Year, and so thousands of young people flocked to Rome once again to celebrate this with the Pope. A few months later, on December 20th, 1985, Pope John Paul II summoned the very first World Youth Day, which was held in Rome in 1986. The second meeting was in Argentina in 1987. And ever since then, World Youth Day has become a key part of John Paul II's pontificate. Every 2 or 3 years, the Pope met with thousands of youths in cities such as Santiago de Compostela, Denver, Manila, Paris, and Toronto.
Voi non vi rassegnerete ad un mondo in cui altri esseri umani muoiono di fame, restano analfabeti, mancano di lavoro. Voi difenderete la vita in ogni momento del suo sviluppo terreno vi sforzerete con ogni vostra energia di rendere questa terra sempre più abitabile per tutti.
All'origine delle giornate mondiali della gioventù ci sono due eventi importanti di cui i protagonisti erano proprio i giovani.
I riflessi di un giorno che non finirà, di un giorno.
Il giubileo dell'anno 1984 è l'anno internazionale dei giovani del 1985.
Resta qui.
La risposta dei giovani all'invito del Santo Padre è stata proprio straordinaria.
Resta qui con noi, Signore.
Ha consegnato ai giovani la croce, segno dell'anno giubilare, la croce che è diventata la croce dei giovani, la croce delle giornate mondiali della gioventù.
La notte non verrà.
La prima giornata mondiale, dopo l'istituzione di questo avvenimento nella Chiesa, è stata celebrata a livello diocesano.
Spingerà fino a quando giungerà ai confini.
Poi la prima giornata fuori Roma ha avuto luogo nell'87, un anno dopo, Domenica delle Palme, a Buenos Aires.
Congregamos hoy en la Jornada Mundial de la Juventud, junto con la Iglesia.
Una cadena más fuerte.
Più di 1 milione di giovani. È stata la prima giornata fuori Roma.
Más fuerte que el odio y que la muerte, lo sabemos.
Poi tocca a Santiago de Compostela nel 89.
Entre tanta confusione,
Questa giornata ha portato già una struttura definita del programma in 3 parti: le catechesi, la veglia di preghiera e l'Eucaristia dei giovani del mondo.
Camino de Santiago que nos lleva a Jesucristo, camino, vida y verdad.
Ty wyzwoliłeś nas, Panie.
Dopodiché Częstochowa, un altro santuario. Questa volta santuario mariano, luogo dei pellegrinaggi molto vivi. Questa giornata è passata nella storia come la prima giornata mondiale dell'incontro dei giovani dei due ex blocchi ostili, perché la prima giornata dopo la caduta del muro di Berlino poi le altre giornate mondiali, Denver, il pellegrinaggio verso una metropoli moderna, non più un santuario.
When you eat my body and you drink my blood, I will live in you and you will live in my love. When you eat my
ma metropoli moderna dove bisogna portare Cristo, dove Cristo deve essere testimoniato.
We are one body, the body of Christ, and we do not stand alone. We are one body, the body of Christ, and He came that we might have life.
Poi un'altra giornata mondiale, Manila passa, in Filippine passa alla storia come una giornata mondiale con più alto numero di partecipanti, circa 4 milioni.
Jesus Christ, our Savior, His most precious one.
Per la prima volta è successo che tanti giovani, tante persone si sono radunate insieme intorno al successore di Pietro. Poi Francia. La novità portata dalla Francia, tra l'altro la Via Crucis e poi anche la visita nelle diocesi francesi.
Maître et Seigneur, dépouille-nous, tu veux servir les pauvres, Dieu, tu veux servir les pauvres.
Arriviamo al grande giubileo dell'anno 2000.
Dall'orizzonte una grande luce viaggia nella storia e lungo gli anni ha vinto il buio facendosi memoria.
Più di 2 milioni di giovani, si sentiva proprio Kairos, questo tempo sacro, tempo speciale del grande giubileo.
Strade arriviamo a Roma, sui passi della fede, sentiamo l'eco
Di nuovo siamo nella metropoli moderna.
Celui que de nos mains nous avons pu toucher, celui que nos oreilles ont entendu, celui que dans nos cœurs nous avons rencontré, voilà celui que nous vous annonçons.
In lingua filippina Tagalog. Mahal kong kaibigan na Filipino na may sa puso ninyo ang kaligayahan na inyong naranasan sa mga araw na ito at ipahayag sa pamaguita ng iyong buhay no si Kristo ay tagapagligtas ng buong mundo. Mabuhay!
te per sempre.
Jean-Paul II, he loves you. It is all my message. Finished.